Hi, I'm Christopher Dean and welcome to part 17 of a tutorial series where we build a design system in Sketch. This time, we're going to turn everything we've done so far into a Sketch library and then use it to design a hero banner. We're also going to look at Sketch 52 and see how it affects our workflow. Okay, we all know that Sketch libraries have been around for a while, but Sketch 52 introduced the ability to override shared text and layer styles. So that's going to help our workflow quite a bit. But here we are in Abstract. The first thing we're going to do is convert our main file into a library. We're going to do that by right-clicking or control-clicking on the Design System global file, and then selecting Use as Library. Here we go. So symbols from library files are automatically available to insert in Sketch when you open other files on this branch. All right, let's do that. Now that's done, we're going to drop down Add File and create Sketch File. I'm going to call this Design System Designs. Now we're going to go over to the right-hand side and select New Branch. I'm going to enter Hero Banner and select Create Branch. I'm going to select the file, go over to the right again and select Edit in Sketch. And alright, we're in Sketch and I'm using Dark Mode, which is a new view that comes with updating to Mac OS Mojave. It's pretty similar to some of the other apps that you may use, like After Effects or Photoshop. But if you're looking at a computer screen for most of your day, it's going to be a lot easier on your eyes. So yeah, just having a quick look around. The toolbar is a bit different. Things are laid out differently on the overrides panel. And as we start working, you'll start to see where most of those changes have come in. There's the new data feature. And yeah, let's first up, we're going to change its color profile to sRGB. Just going to save where we are. Jump back into Abstract and grab that library. And what I want from the library is the main desktop artboard. Just going to go over to this one, zoom in, temporarily delete everything off it, grab it, copy it, go over to my other file and paste it. Okay, let's see if the layout settings have been brought over. Yes, that's great. All right. Just going to zoom out, select this artboard, go over to here, drop this down and go to Design System Global Hero Banner. So the Hero Banner is the branch that we're in. Then I'm going to go to Header, Header Desktop, and select Black. If we select that symbol, we can see on the right-hand side the resizing options have changed visually. You now have a box here, which is your pin to edge settings, fixed size here, and then a preview you can hover over to see a preview of what your resizing is going to be like. The overrides are pretty much the same, but they just look a bit cleaner. And then you can switch between symbols just like that. Let's go back to black. I'm going to put this in a folder, so I'm going to group it and just change this to header. I'm then going to go and grab the landscape image. So I'm going to go to here again, insert a symbol, go to the library, go to image, and then image landscape. Okay, from there, we can place it underneath the header. Make sure it's at 0, 0. And then I'm going to lock this and enter 1920. I'm going to select the artboard and turn on our grid. Just going to zoom in. I'm going to select the image symbol we just placed in there. unlock this and then resize it so it snaps to an 8.8 grid. We just have to change that to 8. We're going to zoom out, and I'm going to bring in an image that I found on Unsplash. And we'll just play around with a few variations of a hero banner. That's the one I want there. And I'm simply going to drag it over and drop it here. There you go, updated automatically. And how's it going to look if I turn off the background color of the header? Let's take a look. I'm going to go to the overrides, go right to the bottom, select color, and change this to none. Okay, I'm going to go select the artboard. The guides are already turned on. I'm going to go in. I'm going to grab some text, so select this. Go over to DT for desktop, H1 display because we want a really big one this time. Go to white and center. Just going to click anywhere. Zoom back out. I'm going to snap that heading to the inner content region. Let's just see if it's on the grid. Okay. Yeah, it looks fine. I'm going to turn the layout options on so I can see our baseline. I'm going to drag it down until it's sitting on top of it. Turn everything off. Let's pretend that Dezen is a design studio and enter something snazzy about ourselves. Okay. So they normally say something like, "Welcome to Dezen. We create experiences that scale." Okay, we can't really see that text, so we're going to need an overlay. Let's select the image symbol. It's going to press R for rectangle and draw a rectangle over the whole symbol. And let's see if we've got an already made overlay style. If not, we'll make one and add it to the global library. Let's select that rectangle, go to Appearance over here on the right, drop this down and see what we have. Okay, we don't have one. Let's go make one. Just going to drop black in there for the moment and go back to the library. Going to go to the symbols page, zoom out. Okay, where can we put this? Let's go over to the color swatches. And over here we can duplicate utility green, move it up, change its name to color overlay, and I'm going to go /30 because we're going to use a black at 30%. Let's change this to 0000000 at 30%. Okay, I'm going to select it. Let's change this name as well. Let's select it, go over to Create New Layer Style. And enter the same text there. All right, let's just save where we are. Go back to our design file and see if it's available. Select the rectangle, go to the right, drop down Appearance, go to Color, Color Overlay 30. Let's grab all these layers, group them, call this Hero Banner, drop that below the header, move this overlay after we rename it below the text, and now we can see it. We're going to select that text and drop in a button. Let's go to Symbols again, go to Button, Button Primary, Primary Default, and drop that in the middle, center it, turn on our grid, Now I'm doing that with a shortcut. I'm going to turn it off, and you can set up your toolbar to have it up here. Let's turn it back on. Make sure it's snapping. You move it up and have it 10 steps away from the text. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe that's too far. Let's go back up 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can select that button, come over to the overrides, and enter find out more. And you notice when I select that button that I now have the text overrideable and the color overrideable. At this stage, we can go select any color we want. I'm going to go to secondary 100%. And I'm also going to take the centered text and align it to the left. And I can do that pretty quickly by going to here, dropping this down, going to a label white left. Pretty cool. But I'm going to undo that and just keep this one for now. Okay, we won't worry about the menu, but they would have things like home, about us, portfolio, that kind of thing. All right, so that's one version of a hero banner. Let's see what else we can do. I'm going to lock this overlay layer by right-clicking on it and selecting Lock Layer. I'm going to select the image symbol, go back to Finder. Okay, maybe we'll do this one, a Mazda ad. Let's drop this in. Okay, now we want to left align that text. So I'm just going to go over here, change this to left. See how easy that was? I'm going to turn on my guides and bring that all the way over to here. And also bring the button over. And also resize this so it's the width of that. We could set up stacking here if we wanted to. So anytime we increase the amount of lines of text we're using, it'll push it down automatically. So let's do that. I'll just group this again and put text there. Make sure the button is below the text. Make sure the folder is selected and go over to Anima's stacked function here. I'm going to left align it. Maybe we can move this text up a little bit. And what are we going to say here? We could say something like, moments like this won't pass you by if you buy the new Mazda CX-5. Okay, it's not the best marketing slogan of all time, but it'll do. Okay, we've made Desin into a design studio and a car yard. What else can we do? Go back to Finder. What's next? E-commerce for men. Let's go drop it into there. I can probably turn the overlay off and change this text to black or the primary color. Let's go select DT, H, H1 display, black, left. Enter something like autumn has arrived and everything is brown or red. All right, you're not going to sell a lot with that, but let's zoom in. We're going to drop a secondary button next to this one. I'm going to get a button secondary, go to black default. Drop that there. Okay, so the stacks function is going to stack that right on top of the other thing and then move this down. So we're going to have to move these into a folder. Call this CTAs. They can then be moved back into place. Okay, the secondary button can go below that one. I'm just going to move it over. Turn on our grid. Make sure it's 16 pixels away from the primary button. And this time we're going to change the secondary one to find out more, and the first one, the primary button, to shop now. Let's turn off our guide and zoom out a little bit. Maybe one last one, and I'm going to go back to our centered text. I'm going to go Command Z many times. Here we go. How many times does it take? Here we go. All right. Grab this one and drag it in. All right, that's a lovely shot of the Sydney Opera House. And because of recent events, I might enter something like this: natural treasure is not a billboard. Now from here, you might want to turn this into a nested symbol so you can drop it into any of your designs, like anything in the global library. Let's do that. I'm just going to keep that in this file for now, just to show you what you can do. Let's go into the symbol. Just going to bring everything out of that folder. Delete this. Unlock the overlay. Make sure the button is below that. Group these and rename it text. Make sure the overlay is resized, pinned to all edges, and so is the image symbol. And there's that little preview showing you what it does. Okay, I'm going to group that text layer and call this container. And we're going to attempt to do the same thing that we did in the footer, which is have it resize, and then when it hits that text, have that resize it. Just going to duplicate the overlay layer, drag that into that folder, call this BG, change its shape style to surface bounding box, so it's an invisible rectangle. Okay, I'm going to make that 1440 wide, and I'm going to center it. I'm then going to grab the container, go over to Auto Layouts Pinning Sizing and select Width. I'm going to change this to %, have that at 100, and max at 1440. So the text, let's pin to the left, then the right. Go back and resize this. Okay, so that hasn't really worked like we wanted to, has it? And I think I know why. The text layer on the inside has to be pinned to center horizontally. Let's select that, go back, and do it again. Oh, it's still not fixed. Maybe the container needs that as well. Okay. Third time's a charm. Yes. Okay. Now we need to make that button stay the same width. And we're going to go to Sketch's own resizing and fix its width and height. We're then going to add stacking with auto layout. Okay, maybe we're going to change this value to 32, but that may have taken it off the grid. So let's just see if it has. Let's change our symbols grid to 8 by 8. Okay, and 37 was actually okay. Let's just say where we are, return to instance. Okay, there we go. We've got a responsive hero banner for desktop. Maybe we want to take this into the global library so we can drop it in whenever we like. If that's the case, I'm going to rename the symbol here to banner / banner hero / desktop. And I'm going to copy it over to the global library. And to give it somewhere where it can live, I'm going to grab the last artboard that we made, move it over, collapse all those layers, move this to the top, rename it to Hero Banner, change the heading to Hero Banner, this to desktop, turn on our layout and our grid and paste it. Now we're going to see if this has duplicated any of the styles that exist in our global library. Let's move it into place first. Okay, that'll do. Let's increase the height of this artboard. Okay, that text. Looks like there is still only one style. The button, where is that coming from? Let's double click on it and it goes to there. So Sketch is getting better at not messing up your files if you paste symbols from other files that you've created with its shared elements that come from the global library and not break anything. All right, and with that set up, I'm going to save this, go back to my design file and drop it in. Let's go to the shared library, grab it, drop it in, make sure it's at 0, 0. Get rid of the one that's in the document. Go to symbols, delete this, go back to the page, and let's resize it. Great. Now we might want to reset all of the overrides in the symbol that lives in the library. I'm going to select the image landscape, reset its overrides, reset the buttons overrides, and enter just the word text there. I'm going to save this, go back to my design file, and you can see that Sketch is now telling me that a global library element has updated. Library updates available is at the top right. I'm going to select that. It's going to tell me what the differences are, and I can go update component. Great, now I can go over to the overrides and control everything from here. In text, I might say something like, welcome to Design, a free design system and tutorial series. Change the label and the button to learn more. Scroll down so we can see the image override and go and grab one of the renders from the series. Drag that into there. Okay, this will probably work better for me if everything was left aligned and there was no overlay. So I might make that decision now and go and change the global library version. Okay, I'm going to grab the text folder and change its width to 1408. Center it. Hopefully that didn't break anything. Okay, and you'll see that the left and right pinning has changed from 136 to 16. Okay, but what we really want is the text to be on the left hand, taking up 50% of that width, and also the button, and the right hand side being the focal point of the image. So I think we have to group the text, call this content, change its left and right pinning to 16 and 16 and its width to 1408. Draw a rectangle, taking up the content width again. Call this background. Move it under the text. Change its style to the bounding box. Now we should be able to resize that text and not have it all get broken. So firstly, I'm going to left align that text. And to bring that button over to the left, we select these stacks and change it from centered to left. Okay, we want that text to be 688. All right, let's see what this does. I'm just going to save where I am. I'm going to go back to the design file and select library updates available. Okay, that seems to have worked. Let's resize. Okay, we need to add a little bit of padding to the left-hand side there. So let's go back to the library. Okay, I'm going to change the width of the background in the content folder to 1408. Center it. Go back to the design file and see if that's added the 16 pixels of padding. Update it from the library. Okay, that's better. Okay, I want to delete the overlay and turn the text black. Let's go to the overlay first. Change the text to DT H1 display black left. I might also add a secondary button. So I'm going to group this, call this CTAs. Drop in the button secondary black default. Zoom in. Make sure it's 16 pixels away from the primary button. Move it below it. And rename them button primary and button secondary. So they're easy to update in the overrides. Okay, let's save where we are. Go back to the design. And there is a bit of to and froing, but once you get it right, you'll be fine. Let's update it. Okay, that looks all right. The navigation in the menu has kind of disappeared. So let's select the header, change it to header desktop white. And lastly, those buttons could probably change their labels to View Series and Learn More. View Series could either take you to the YouTube channel or animate down the page and show you some thumbnail cards that you click on to then go to the videos. Learn More could animate down the page and just tell you more about the Desert Design system. If we wanted to, we could zoom out and change that text to the primary color by selecting its style, changing it to primary left. Lots of red, yeah. All right. Okay, that's it for now. Let's save this. go back to the library, save this as well. Okay, go down to the abstract banner at the bottom, select commit changes. And we can scroll down and see everything that we just did. Okay, that looks fine. I'm going to enter hero banner done. Go to the bottom right and select commit changes. And when you get here, you can drop this down and you can see that the design systems designs file is referencing the global library. Abstract can also share one project's libraries with another project. So you can set up a design system that has all your global libraries and call that your design system, or use it as your single source of truth. Start a new project and then tell that project to look at the other project for its files. Sounds complicated, but once you've set it up, it's fantastic. And of course, our last step is to go to the top right and select Merge Branch. Let's select Merge and Archive. Okay, that's done, and also the end of this episode. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.